Welcome to the channel, everybody. In today's video we're going to be reviewing the TaylorMade Stealth 2 hybrids. Already covered driver, already covered fairway wood, so if you haven't checked those out, make sure you go and spot those. We've got 3 different options that are going to cover pretty much any golfer on the market. So let's get into this video. So starting off with the HD version, looking down at this club, seeing kind of that glossy kind of look at the back of the club, which is maybe just shinier than what you've had in previous models with the Stealth. HD standing for high draw. So for players that tend to maybe hit a slice shot or tend to lose the ball out to the right-hand side if you're a right-handed golfer, then the high draw version with weight probably pushed into the heel of the club to slow that heel down, quicken up the toe, this hybrid is going to help you in that area, just like we're seeing in the driver, just like we're seeing in the fairway wood. So a good start when it comes to trying to cover all bases with these hybrids. Quite thuddy, quite a nice feel off the face, not too tinny, not too loud, just kind of like thuddy. So if you're blending in from maybe a set of irons into a set of hybrids, then that's going to perform quite nicely for you. Whereas if you're coming down from woods into hybrids, maybe you want sort of a louder sound to blend in with your fairways. But definitely getting a sense that I'm enjoying the feel off the face. Just like the driver, just like the fairway wood, we're seeing that stealth kind of almost tattoo in the back of that club there, which is a little bit quieter in this in compared to what I'm seeing out of the driver. The driver kind of stands out to you, whereas it is kind of a little bit more hidden in this one because the font is just that little bit smaller. From a tech point of view, we've got twist face running right the way through all 3 of their models. But in the Plus version, and we'll hit the Plus in just a moment, but you're getting a forged twist face. So it is slightly different than what you're getting out of the kind of standard model and the HD model. We'll see what that's kind of doing or feeling when we hit that club in just a moment. For this particular test, I've got 20 degrees of loft in the 3 of the HD, so maybe just that little bit more lofty in the HD. I've got 19 degrees in the standard, and then I've got 19.5 degrees in the Plus. But the difference between these 3, again, very similar to what I was getting in the fairways, not getting any interchangeable in the shafts when it comes to the standard and the HD. I am getting that interchangeable sleeve when it comes into the Plus version, which I do like because it gives, as a fitter, it gives you an option to be able to maneuver that loft and lie just that little bit more, which is a bit of a shame, but I'd see that they're trying to save weight by not having too many screws in these clubs. And then now looking down at the standard, very similar look to what I'm getting out of the HD version, but almost like a smaller profile, whereas the HD was maybe a little bit longer in the look of the back. The standard just seeing a little bit more squatter. I would say more in keeping with your kind of average hybrid out on the market. But looks-wise, really quite pretty looking down at this one. Again, sound, acoustics, really loving the sound off of this one. Nice and thuddy, nice and solid off there. Very similar, well, almost identical to what I'm getting out of the HD model there. What you are getting in these, just like you're getting in the driver and the fairway, is the extra technology with that inverted cone. So the idea of that is to help with off-centered strikes across the face. So if we do hit it a little bit in the heel or a little bit out of the toe, we're still going to maintain good ball speed out of these particular clubs. And I think keeping that in line with all the other 3, or the other models, should we say, right the way through the Stealth 2 range, that's only a positive. But the Plus, well, the Plus is looking completely different. And I'll talk about whether I kind of like the look of it in just a moment, but very, very small kind of looking profile. But whereas previous models have maybe been a bit squarer, I would say, in the kind of toe area, this one definitely has that rounded kind of pear shape appeal to it, which I've got to say, I do like it. And all 3 models offering that speed pocket technology down the bottom there. The idea of that enables you to maintain decent ball speeds when you get a little bit low in the strike. But this is so different. If you look at the top of it, it's almost like they've got like a wrap that they've wrapped around the top of it. The face kind of blends more into the actual top of the club as well. We've seen that in other models. But that effect on top there, it definitely feels like it feels soft, it feels like a wrap, it doesn't feel like a paint job. I'm not sure whether I like it. It's not too offensive and you don't really sort of notice it too much when you look down at the ball, but they've also taken off that kind of stealth part on the back of the club. You've got that on every driver, every fairway. You've got it in both the other models of the hybrids, but they've taken it off the Plus version. What I love about it, again, talked about this, but from a fitting point of view, I've got the interchangeable sleeve, just like we've got across the whole of the TaylorMade range from years gone by, which gives me that option to maneuver loft and get it to perform slightly differently for different players. But I have to say, I'm quite impressed with this one, but let's look at the numbers of them. So for this test, I've done a comparison between the standard model and the Plus model. If we look at the ball speed off both of these clubs, we're getting 138 mile an hour, identical, averaging the same off the face. We're launching them the same. Remember, there's only half a degree difference between the difference of these two clubs. I haven't maneuvered that Plus version. I've just kept it in its standard position. 15.2 and 15.3 degrees in the launch. However, this is the interesting thing, is the Stealth Standard is spinning at 3,752 revs on an average, whereas if you look at the Plus version, I'm getting 4,151 on an average. So I'm getting a little bit more out of the Plus version than what I would get out of the standard for this particular test, peaking out 37 yards high with the standard compared to 38 yards high with the Plus version, and then carry distances 217 out of the standard compared to 211 out of the Plus. What is interesting though is, and I could feel this when I was using that Plus version, I was kind of fighting it to square it up, and you can see that on an average I'm kind of a little left, pretty accurate, but mainly left with the standard, which is what I would expect from a hybrid. However, with the Plus, everything is right. I was struggling to get it out there. So that would explain why maybe my face is coming in maybe a little bit open, so I'm struggling to square it up, but why I'm getting so much of a launch out of it, why I'm getting a little bit less ball speed, why my launch is maybe a little bit closer to the Stealth Standard, and why I'm spinning it more, and why I'm losing some yardage. So it's all to do with the fact that my face, I'm struggling to square that face up. So with that in mind, I'm just going to put this sleeve into a more upright position to see, because you can see from that shot that I just hit there that it's a bit right, very similar to the numbers that I'm getting, but I'm now just going to put this into a more upright position to see if I can get that ball to maybe just turn over, which is what I would expect from a hybrid, and to see if the numbers change in it. So it's still the same loft, but just got it a little bit more upright. Yeah, I can get that turning over. It's still spinning quite a bit, but I have got that to turn over a little bit. I think the last two shots, I've definitely had one that's stayed pretty straight, dropped to the left, and then that one I certainly got it moving a little bit more. But my spin and my carry is pretty much the same as what I'm getting in my numbers. But I would like to hear what you think about these. Is there enough of a change? Is there enough technology gone into these hybrids to make a big difference on the market of hybrids? I definitely saw a difference when it came to the driver, but the fairway woods and now the hybrids performing what I would call very similar to what I would expect from any fairway wood or hybrid on the market. But I'd like to hear what you think down in the comments. Will you be rushing out to test the new TaylorMade Stealth 2 hybrids? If you are new to this channel and you like what you're seeing, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you again very soon.